Antiperspirant deodorants such as this one have been used for many, many decades to prevent sweating and to make you smell better. But have you ever stopped to think what some of the harmful effects to your health that these can have in the long term? In this video, I want to explore some of these effects on your health, and make sure you stick to the end to find out what a much better alternative is that still does a job as good as this. Let's begin. Hello, welcome to another video. My name is Dr. Steven Hulme and I'm a chiropractor currently practicing in the Oxfordshire area in the UK. And thank you for joining. You're very, very welcome if you've not been here before or if you have been here before. In this video, I want to do something a little bit different. I want to look and discuss antiperspirant deodorants because as I've started to research it recently, I have found that it doesn't come without its long-term risk or issues with health. And on this channel, throughout the entire time I've been doing this the last few years, I've always wanted to find ways of optimizing my health, and I do these experiments on myself and then I make these videos. And this is another area where we can, I think, reduce toxins to our body. One of the issues is when the harmful effects to our health happen long term, the effects aren't so obvious, and so it's very easy for us to ignore them. However, I have found some issues with these antiperspirants that I do want to make you aware of, but don't worry, there is a much better alternative that I'm going to show you at the end of this video. Firstly though, what is the difference between antiperspirants and deodorants? Antiperspirants are basically designed to stop you from sweating. So they use typically aluminium salts that will attach onto the sweat pores underneath your armpits and then stop the pore from releasing sweat. Deodorants are simply something that's going to smell nice. So typically when you buy a deodorant from the supermarket, you will buy a combination of both. It will be an antiperspirant deodorant. So something that stops you or reduces the sweat and also makes you smell better. However, you do have to ask the question, is it a good thing to stop me from sweating? Particularly because this is the body's natural thing to do. It's not doing it for no reason. It's not doing it just to annoy you. It does actually have a purpose. And if we're going to go against that purpose, we've got to consider what the effects of this is going to be. I think one of the most prominent research papers I've seen recently is one by Caroline Linhart. This was done in 2017, and she looked at two groups. One group that was using antiperspirants to a high amount, and the other control group that weren't using or using to a very low level. There was an association that was found after this study. This was done retrospectively after interviewing both of these cohorts, and there was an association where they saw a correlation between those that use antiperspirants and the amount of aluminium deposits in breast tissues of women. And so you might ask, well, why does that matter? Well, the other thing that they found was that those that use antiperspirants more, so that the intervention group, had a much higher incidence of breast cancer. So I do want to make clear that this is not a direct correlation and it's not a high quality research paper, but it is suggesting that the high use of these antiperspirants over a long period of time can lead to an increased risk of breast cancer. And this is just one of the conditions that's actually being looked at. Interestingly, on Healthline, they put this research on their website, but they concluded by saying, well, the research isn't good enough and therefore we're going to consider it safe until we have good enough research and to say that actually it's not safe. The problem about that is that we could be using this product for many, many, many years, and then after a while we realize, well, now the research is coming out that's strong enough to say, oh yeah, actually there is a problem, but then for a lot of people that can be too late. So my view, particularly when we're going against the natural ways of our bodies, is to say, show me some research that is good quality to suggest that it is actually safe. Like, prove to me it's safe, and then let's use it, and then let's sell it. Unfortunately, this is not the way it works. And so because there's a much better alternative, I would personally say this is not worth the risk going forward, because of the health issues. Now that is just one aspect, and there hasn't been a huge amount of research on this, but I think there's going to be a lot more issues on this if we were to look a bit deeper. However, the question you're of course asking is, well, what is better to use? What is the solution? Well, fortunately, there is actually a very good solution, and particularly in the last few years, there's actually been a couple of companies that have created natural deodorants. Now, one that I've recently got is one called Get Fussy. This product was on Dragon's Den and was backed by Peter Jones and Deborah Meaden. And one of the big selling points was the fact that this is environmentally friendly. So they offer refills, and yeah, it's just very, very good on the environment. You're not throwing away cans, etc. The part that I loved about it was the fact that it's all natural. They have all natural ingredients, and instead of using aluminium, they actually use probiotics. So I'm going to put a link to this product in the description of this video. But in my next video next week, I'm going to go into this in way more detail and show you what these ingredients are inside, how this works, how the company works, and why I think this is so much better than using one of these that we've used for so long. So if you're watching this video a week late, then you'll see the next video just pop up here, and I'll highly suggest you go and see that. Thank you again for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe if you're not a subscriber of this channel to see videos like this one. Take care. Bye-bye.